Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Yo, we are back, folks. We are back. back.
God.
First thing, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I mean,
how you feeling?
I got a fractured arm, broken arm. I mean, I was told by my kids that I'm not allowed to say fractured. It's broken because fracture and break are the same thing.
Well,
so
you got to stop trying to throw those long footballs, man.
I thought I heard. Well, they were having USFL tryouts were in Minnesota. I figured I'd get the old pigskin and throw, and make it pro again.
From what I heard, what's his name over there at Cam over there at Auburn? He had an awesome pro day, throwing the ball, talking about I'm back. Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm surprised Cam Newton just didn't go to like the USFL or the XFL.
No, man,
I've heard on the grapevine that's where Carson Wentz is going to go, but they said, you know what, we'll pass. It's okay.
I think he would do better. What's that thing where you get to pick the plays, and
Oh my God, yeah, the fantasy, not fantasy, but yeah,
what
the one that is that the one that T.O.'s in, right?
Yeah. The field's like what 25 yards long or something. It's like real short. I think
he might be able to succeed. You know what else is exciting though? Arena football's coming back.
Yes, it is.
I'm
huge.
I was a huge Iowa Barnstormers fan. So
Sabercats.
Somebody tweeted out a while back. They tweeted out. It was the Arena Football League had tweeted out a PlayStation 2 game of the old Arena Football.
Hello, bro. Come on now. I
know this isn't a gaming show, but because it's sports, it ties in, folks. It ties in. But
yeah, I mean,
they tweeted that out, and I was like, "Oh my God, I used to love playing that." Because I'm a huge Iowa Barnstormers fan, and I don't follow any of the arena teams. Don't even. I think I followed Arena Football. Chase, how's it going, buddy? Happy Tuesday, gentlemen. In the future, would love to get your thoughts on the XFL. We will set up. Maybe we'll do a show and we can do that. We got the gaming advocate wanting to talk XFL, so we can do that.
Vipers. So Vegas. I don't live in Vegas, but
I had the Iowa Barnstormers actually liked and commented on my post out of the blue. Like I was just like blown away by that. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Me and Kevin, we used to go to the San Jose Sabercats, and I used to take my son. And the tickets were nothing. And then the cool part about it was you could get the autograph from the players. You meet the cheerleaders and get the autographs. It was
nice.
So cool, man. Not like going to a Niner game out here. Good Lord.
You could take them to a Washington game. I mean, you might have to check which seats, so you don't get anything spilling on you liquid wise.
First of all, who owns the Commanders now?
Word that I have heard is the owner of the 76ers. I have heard, that's what I've heard. I heard the sale, from what I've heard through some sources, the sale is done and they will be making an announcement at the end of the month.
Okay.
Right around for the owners meeting. But
I'm very happy.
Bezos was the number one guy that had wanted to buy it, and because he owns the Washington Post, and Dan Snyder doesn't like the Washington Post because it writes stories that tell people what he's doing, and he doesn't want that.
Right.
But I heard also the price was, I think the sale price was around the $6 billion mark.
Now there was deals. So if he sells the team, they don't come after me. Don't ask me nothing about the league.
So that is why a lot of like these contracts and stuff, a lot of this stuff is pushed to June, July timeframe because then it's the new owner's problem. Right. I also heard, so it was the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers. There was a guy in, where was it? The Potomac area in Washington, in that Delmarva area. That's a local billionaire. And I also heard Magic Johnson is also part of this now.
Oh my God! Come on, Magic, stop it, stop it.
Hey, he's got money. It doesn't matter.
Stop it. He got the Shout out, he got the Dodgers. You know,
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I don't know anything else. I haven't heard much else. I don't know like state like obviously everybody knows Washington needs a new stadium. I don't think it's going to be in DC. I don't think it's going to be fans. I know some of the fans I've heard from people they want it in at the old RFK spot. I don't see that happening. I don't see it staying. I think it's going to
I
end up
I, I
in
heard I heard
Virginia.
I heard Fort Meade, Maryland. Uh, the old the bait line. I'm just playing. My dad was stationed in.
I've heard that it's going to be somewhere. It's going to be Northern Virginia. Which would make sense because that's also where training camp is. So I'm okay with that. I'm moving to Virginia, so if I happen to they
So
move
what?
there and I get season tickets,
So what? So what are we talking? 7 billion, 8 billion. What do you think the team went for?
I think it's sold for $6 billion, which
6 billion.
so when Snyder bought the team, this was interesting. What I found out was they were the most expensive. Washington was the most expensive team for 800 million. That was way back in like the 90s,
Right,
late 90s
right,
or
right.
whatever. If he sold it for the 6 billion mark, which is what they're saying, they're eighth on the list of most valuable franchises. And I was like, yeah, I could see it with all the problems and stuff. I mean, fans at this point are hoping like there's so many rumors and things. Everybody's like, God, I hope they change the name. Even Pat McAfee was talking about that. They on his show. They were talking about, is the new owner. We're hoping that they change the name. A lot of people. There are people that want it to go back to the old name. I don't know if I don't see that happening. I could see them change the name because they're going to want to just dump everything that had to do with Snyder, that Snyder had his hands on.
Well,
You're going to get rid of.
I spend $6-7 billion. Guess what? I'm changing the name. If I'm the owner, I'm doing whatever the hell I want if I
Yeah,
spend that
that's
money.
that's what I've heard is that they are. I mean, it's gonna. You're talking clean house. They're
Yeah,
firing every. I don't know
yeah.
if that includes the coach. Coaching staff. I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably not. I think they'll. My guess is what I would assume would be you give Rivera a year, see how he does. If you like him as a new owner, you're not obligated to keep him at that
Hmm.
point after a year. I mean, I don't know what the contract status would be, so I don't know if they would have to pay him, but I feel like they would at least keep him for a year and then go after somebody else if
Um,
they wanted to, or they're going to keep him and
usually,
stay with him.
usually, I mean, there's been teams that have been bought in the past, and you know what they do, man? They clean house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They clean. You got
I mean, do I want to see Rivera go? No, because we've done this for so many years with one coach after the next, and
right.
it's always you're starting over again. You fire a coach after one season, what are you doing? You're
Mhm.
rebuild. You're in a rebuild mode again. We've seen
Right,
that with the Browns did that.
right.
Rudigs, what's going on, buddy?
Rue.
Yeah, because I was. But man, free agency. Talk about things going
Bro,
crazy.
first of all, I'm telling you, you got Raider heads out here. Shout out to my friend Kevin, Raider guy 87. Hey, Jimmy, Jimmy. Oh man, talk about getting somebody's ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Jimmy G is in Las Vegas. Good Lord. Wow.
Well, I mean, I guess that's uh I don't even know how to I
Now,
don't know what to say.
so
How to begin
so
with
he
that
got
one.
so he got three years, 72 about 72 million. I think guaranteed of that is like what guaranteed at signing I think was 33. But man,
That's crazy.
wow.
Um
Wow.
I want
Wow.
to yeah, that was I'm going to sidetrack real quick cuz I forgot there was one quick thing I wanted to just mention. Um
Go ahead.
just a shout out to the Knicks legend, Willis Reed that passed away today.
Yes, yes,
Hall of
yes.
Famer
I
Willis
did
Reed
see it.
won 2 championships with the Knicks, passed away today at the age of 80. So I just wanted to throw that one out there because otherwise,
Thank
because
you.
it just jogged in my memory, otherwise I would have forgotten about it. But yeah, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
So I heard
Yeah.
another thing, NFL wise, that
Mhm.
during the 2022 season, the Niners were actually looking at going after another previously retired quarterback. I heard that there was they had thought about going after Big Ben. I'm not sure why they would want him at that point because I don't know what he would have. I mean, the man almost could have
So
broken
see,
his hip.
see. See, here's the things the Niners got to remember. Just put in an old video clip of what happened the last time we played in the playoffs. We lost our quarterback. He couldn't throw. So then we got another guy in. Good Lord, he got knocked out. So what do we had? We had a running back who had to do some wildcats and some options. And then they had to put the guy with the bad arm back in. It was a disaster.
You know what that reminds me of? The Panthers. Years ago, the Panthers had that same issue. They lost all three of their quarterbacks. They had to go with a punter who went down, and then their punter got injured, so they brought Vinny Testaverde, 42-year-old Vinny Testaverde, who'd been retired for years. They brought him out of retirement and put him in, and I was scared. I thought he was going to die on the field if he took a hit.
we signed Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean wow, he's getting old.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, another sidetrack. Alex Ovechkin, my Capitals, broke Wayne Gretzky's record with the latest announced earlier today.
Nice.
Tuesday night he broke it. He got his 40th goal of the season, giving him 13 career 40-goal seasons for his entire career and counting.
Gotcha. So all right. Well, since we giving shout outs, we did have somebody that did. We got some people that. I know we got some retirement. We got a lot of people that retired. We got some people that retired. Hightower, he won 3 titles with the Patriots. He retired at the age of 33. Man, that's young.
I mean, in the NFL 33. Today, that is. But when did he start?
Bill Belichick used to call him Mr. February.
But you got to think about though, like
when did he start?
Retired. When did he start playing though? What in the NFL? Because I'm betting it was probably when it was the different NFL, when it was a little bit more tough, and and things like that. I'm sorry, and Hightower, man. All I can picture with when you say Hightower, it just goes back to Police Academy. That's all I think of is Police Academy.
Don't! I knew you were going to go there, Bubba Smith. I can't believe you, old ass Bubba Smith. Good Lord. Good Lord. I love me some Police Academy. Love me some Police Academy.
I do too. I'll keep scrolling. I got 2 pages I can.
Don't hurt yourself now.
No, I'm looking to see. See here, the San Francisco. Okay, I don't know. Let's see, but let's see, what does this say? Pro Football Network suggested the 49ers should add former 3-time Pro Bowl defensive end Robert Quinn to elevate the team's pass rush to the next level. I don't know if that's old or if they already did or if he's still out there available.
Well,
that was posted an hour ago. So,
well, I can tell you right now. If you want to look up, there was a lot of. Let me update it.
God, man, there's
so. I mean, if you want to look at, you got Draymond went to Seattle, Zach Allen went to Denver, Samson Ibukama, who used to play for my team, the Niners, he went to Indiana, DeMarcus Walker, Chicago. Dude, it's a lot of stuff in going.
So what are your thoughts on Payne, Darren Payne? He got franchise tagged with Washington, and then he signed a 4-year, $90 million contract that gave him $45 million fully guaranteed, $60 million total in guarantees, and a $28 million signing bonus. Like, he just set the bar so high for defensive players, because that's a lot of money for a defensive lineman.
You take your agent out and make sure you treat that agent good. That agent got him a good deal.
Yeah.
Got him a good deal. It's a hell of a
I'm,
deal.
I'm looking at some of the other linemen that have been signed on other teams, and I'm just like,
All right, so
Fletcher Cox re-signed with the Eagles for 1 year for $10
yeah.
million.
hmm
But it's crazy when you're setting the bar so high. But I've got the free agent list pulled up. It just starts
So
at
who
the
you
AFC.
are you going linebackers? What position you going?
I'm just kind of looking at the AFC and the NFL 2023 NFL free agency tracker list, signings and all that stuff. So it just starts at the top quarterback and goes all the way down to punter. Starting with the Bills, but we can hop around, or if you have something, just chime in. We can kind of
Well, you know
piggyback.
what? Can't we do our fit like quarterbacks? I
Yeah, we can do
mean,
that.
dude, you got Jacoby Brissett.
You know what? I'm actually okay with that. I was concerned. So I was concerned that they were going to
hmm
try to go after Lamar Jackson. I honestly thought, especially knowing that the team was getting sold, I thought that Snyder was going to do this stupid thing, offer a giant, like a $250 million fully guaranteed contract that would be payable in June or July, and then knowing he's out, that's up to the new team. I was so glad that they went with Brissett. I like Brissett. I think he will do great. I think
I,
he's going to be
I,
the starter
he did a great job when
in a
with,
bad situation that he was put
in
kind
a
of awkward. I won't
when
say
a
bad,
when
awkward.
when a little bad boy had to sit out for a while, he came in and
But he looks
he
good in
he
in Cleveland.
he did, but he's what you call a journeyman.
Right,
He
but the he looked good in Indianapolis when he took over there too. Like
yeah.
he's got the potential to be a starter. The last journeyman I remember watching took a team. I remember there was a journeyman that took a team all the way to the AFC or the NFC Championship. They
hmm
lost, but
Right.
that was in Minnesota before they got Kirk Cousins.
Oh man,
Um,
they
they just
they
had
they
I mean, it was a whole bad situation with the quarterback. That was when Teddy went down with a devastating knee injury. Then
injured.
they got the
Yeah,
replacement, and they had the Minneapolis Miracle. It was a lot of things going on there. But
dude.
like I said, with Brissett, I think that he will be the starter. I know it's between him and Sam Howell. I'm sad that Heineke didn't get to stay there, but
I'm glad he got picked up by somebody.
I am too. I am too.
And and
I will still follow him. I have high hopes for him.
uh, bro, he's in Atlanta. He's got a 2-year deal, 14 million. I think
Who are their other quarterbacks? Because I don't know.
um
Do they have? Does he have?
oh,
Does he have competition? Is what I guess I should say.
I don't think so because Marcus Mariota was in Atlanta and he signed with Philly for a year to back up
I
uh
Yeah, Jalen.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
And
1 year deal. Yeah, that was kind of an odd one. Daniel Jones made bank with the Giants. That one kind of surprised me. Not so
yeah, he
much the
did.
re-signing, but how much they paid him. Like, because I'm just like,
I
is it
think
worth it though? Like, I mean, he showed progress. I will not deny that he showed a hell of a lot of progress last season compared to the prior
look,
season.
look. Let me tell you something, man. He ain't do that damn progress. Come on now,
Well, he must have
come on,
done something to get
come on.
himself a
Now, now,
$160 million deal.
and you know who was pissed off? I know Jackson over there in Baltimore was like,
Oh my!
"Are you freaking killing? Are
I
you
don't.
kidding me?"
I, but nobody's gone after him. And I think the problem is it's because nobody wants. They're asking you. Well,
He
I just
ain't
don't. I don't.
played. He ain't played no. He gets hurt every year, and he
He's
doesn't
injured.
play the game. He's injured prone.
Well, and that's the downside to being a running back and playing quarterback. And I said that but Hurts.
Cleveland Cleveland screwed up everything when they gave that idiot all that money because
Yep.
then that's why Jackson didn't want to sign with the Ravens because he was like, look at this guy, look at all the guaranteed money this guy got, and you
Yeah, he
can't
got a ton. Yeah, that messed it up, but not just with Jackson. I mean, that changed the dynamic for quarterbacks in general. Like
right,
changed everything because
right.
you're going to see some of these people that are divas that are going to want all that. I mean, that think
You
they just
you
deserve
got
everything.
as a general manager and an owner of a team, you got to be smart. You got to be smart. You can't fall for these prima donnas, and if they're not pulling their weight and if they're getting hurt, dude, he doesn't. What he played? What 12 games the last couple of years? He's not
Yeah,
had a full
he gets
season.
injured every season. He's gotten injured at least one injury per season
Yeah.
and it's not just a minor injury. No,
And
it's
I'm not hating. I'm all for people getting their monies, but also from a business, it's like I want to pay you because they did offer him a contract, and he said no. I want what he got, and I don't know because it will set your team back.
Yeah. Well, the Texans picked up a new quarterback. They got Case Keenum. He's on. Hey, but you know what? He got a 2-year deal, $6.25 million contract, $4 million guaranteed. The deal has a max value of 8.25 million with incentives
bro,
for
bro.
a
They they
crappy. I
they
mean,
signed
that's
single. They signed single. We're talking about the Texans. The
yes.
Texans got Singletary to back up Pierce. That is a devastating tandem. Those two running
Well,
backs.
and Devin Singletary only got. I mean, it's a 1-year deal, but they spent. It's worth up
Well,
to
he's back.
three point
He's
seven
back
five million.
because their starter is Pierce, so
Yeah,
he's going to
yeah,
be back in Pierce.
yep.
Now,
And they also
when he
signed
was in
Mike
the
Boone.
Bills, the starting running back was Bruce was Allen. He was it was the guy. It was Allen because he was doing all the damn running. But Singletary, he was a beast. Singletary's a
I mean,
beast.
the Texans got Dalton Schultz for
Schultz. Let me tell you,
1 year, $9 million.
that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt Dallas because Schultz, he did good, man. They tagged him. They didn't want to pay him. So guess who they
Yeah,
tagged this year? Polar. And they got rid of, and thank God they got rid of Zeke.
yeah. I mean, I knew it was bound to happen. I mean, the Texans didn't. They've got a bunch of signings, but they
Hmm.
haven't really spent a fortune on these guys. They got Noah Brown for receiver, 1 year, $2.6 million contract,
Right.
max value 3.1. They picked up Robert Woods,
Yeah.
um, for 2 years, 15. That was a pretty hefty one. But they did sign a 3-year, $75 million contract extension with their offensive tackle, Laramie Tunzel, 50 million
Hmm.
in guaranteed money. They got Shaq Mason,
Yeah.
a guard from in a trade from with the Bucks.
Hmm.
Let's see if there's anybody else good here. Yeah, nobody else that I can see. Gardner Minshew's got a new home
Yes,
since
he
we're still talking
does.
quarterbacks.
Yes, he does. Well, let me look.
Hey,
Okay,
hey, look,
let
he even got a fully guaranteed three and a
yeah,
half
yes,
million dollar deal.
yes, he did.
I'm just like, you're making 3.5 million
Let's see.
to is he gonna sit
Adam,
the bench or is he gonna be a starter?
Adam Thielen. Adam, let's talk about Adam
Thielen?
Thielen is in Carolina. Juju, who won his ring with Kansas City, is now in New England. Miles Sanders, who didn't show up at Philly, we still wondering where he's at. There's still like we still looking at Sanders. We looking for you because you didn't show up in the Super Bowl. He just signed the deal with oh my god, who he signed with Carolina. Oh my
Oh,
god. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't surprised that someone was going to pick up Thielen like that. Would and
Oh, he's a stud. He's
I
a
I
stud.
understand cutting him. It wasn't personal. It was business. It was cap. That was the issue. You had to go somewhere. Part of that problem was the fact that they forked out so much money for Cousins that this is the consequences for that.
I
But
mean,
I think he's gonna succeed there.
Jefferson. They got Jefferson. That's
Yeah, I
big.
know that too. Yeah, they well, and hey, don't forget they still got Hawkinson, and
I
Hawkinson
know.
stepped it. I
He
mean, was
was.
a
Yeah, he did.
night
Yeah,
and
he
day
did.
difference there.
Yeah.
Let me see. There was somebody, David Montgomery, 3-year, $18 million deal for with the Lions.
Lions. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good.
All right.
Alan Lazar with your favorite new team, Jets.
Oh man, God,
Oh my God, they got Jacoby Myers.
I'm talking about the Jets. Oh, you know who they're still. I know Lazard got a 4-year, $44 million contract. They're still, the Jets still got to sign Odell, man. You got to get the wish list done. So you got to sign Odell, and I know there was probably a couple of others for Mr. Diva himself, Aaron Rodgers, because that
I don't
whole
know.
thing was. There still hasn't been anything said about it. What happens? What do you do? Like? What happens if it doesn't go through? Just
It's
what?
a possibility, man.
But that's the thing. It's like,
It's a
so right
possibility.
now everyone says that this is Jordan. This is his team. It's Love's team. But if the deal doesn't go through, does Rodgers sit out? Does he play or does he retire? The ego, for me, I think the ego says he's gonna play, just to piss everyone off. Because I don't see
Of
him
course he's
sitting. I
gonna.
don't see him sitting out. I don't see that. I think
He,
it would either
he's gonna be
be
a backup to Love. He's not gonna be a backup to
no.
Love. That's not gonna happen.
Do they? But see that you like this is a bad situation all around because what do the Packers do? Do you release him? Then he goes wherever. If you release Rodgers, then he's free to go to whoever he wants, and you're out.
Mhm.
You're out. If you keep him, you can't put him as a backup. That's going to be an awkward. I mean, you're paying him a buttload of money to be a backup. He's still going to start.
You cut your losses and you make a deal. You make a deal with the
They're gonna. I
Jets.
think they're gonna have to either make a deal or it's gonna come down to I think they cut him, and then then he's free range to go wherever he wants, and then it's not gonna.
Yeah.
And then if he, I just what I don't get is what the hell was in the dark room because from what I heard and read and and watched all the reports, I'm retiring. He's set to retire. Goes in the dark room. All right. Comes out. All right. I'm going to play for the Jets. Look, I don't know what was in the dark room because there had to be something because there is not a quarterback in that I have ever known that wants to retire, then goes into a room, comes out and says, shouts to the top of their lungs,
I
I
can
want
tell
to
you,
be a
it was
Jets quarterback.
Tom Brady was in the dark room and he slapped him upside his face and said, "Look, man, if I can extend my retirement, and push my retirement back, so can
I
you.
was
So
just
get your butt back out
I
there."
was just like, good. I was like, how did nobody talk about it? That like, if you think about it, he goes in wanting to retire, he comes out wanting to play for the Jets. What the hell happened?
I would have me. I would have went to me. I would have went to the. I would have had him go to the Raiders because he already has a rapport with what's his name out there,
Yeah.
Devontae Adams. Now Devontae, I'm gonna tell you, Devontae Adams, he gonna be pissed because you think Jimmy gonna throw them long big old bombs? It
Hell,
ain't happening, bruh.
Jimmy's
It ain't
Jimmy.
happening. Ain't happening.
He's gonna get with Jimmy what he had with his prior quarterback.
I,
Man, they should. You know what they could have done? The Raiders. I think what would have maybe they should have gone after Taylor Heineke. He has an arm.
he has an arm. I will give you that, but because that's Devontae Adams is a guy that goes out for that ball. When
Yeah.
he puts that hand up, Jimmy, God bless him. I mean, once in a blue moon, he'll throw a nice little pass. And I don't know, man.
So
I don't know.
are you surprised Cooper Rush re-signed with the Cowboys?
He did a fabulous job. He was the perfect backup because everybody, even us,
Yeah, I
go even
I think
I
we
have
both
to
got on
I
the Cooper Rush bandwagon. I will agree
after
with that one.
I was like, oh my God, Cooper Rush, ha ha ha, and then you saw him. He was perfect. He did.
Yeah, we criticized him big time, but I think he turned us around and got us on the Cooper Rush bandwagon. So
Yeah.
I'm curious because he re-signed a 2-year deal worth up to $6 million. I mean, one that's pretty good. That's like $3 million a year just to sit the bench.
Honestly, it would have been a different game Polar got hurt, man. Their wheels, their running
Yeah.
back Zeke. I'm sorry, just
But
couldn't carry it.
what I'm
Couldn't do it.
curious about is I'm wondering, is Rush gonna take over at some point, or is he just they paid him because he's a
No,
good backup, and there ain't
no.
much else
He
out there.
he 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 did his job. They did what they asked him to do, and he did
Right.
it. He was he
So
did it.
I think they got the best deal out of the Cowboys. Got one of the best receivers ever to play the game, in my opinion. I'm just with Brandon Cooks. I mean, that seems like the greatest trade ever. We're giving up
I'm
a
not
pick
even.
and
I'm not. I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate.
I'm just kidding. He's not. I mean, maybe it
I
works
I
out, maybe it doesn't. I don't. Who knows? It to me though, it seems they're more of a running team because, like I've said before, we're watching the NFL transition back to the run first, then pass, which is what we grew up
Dak,
watching.
but Dak ain't Dak. I don't know. He
He's
I
hit or
don't know
miss.
about Dak sometimes.
Well, because he's
Exactly.
hit or miss. He's not like Rex Grossman hit or miss where he two
Mhm.
good games and then just falls apart. He's just he's
But
a
hey,
really hit.
Polar with Polar now with the keys.
But the thing is though,
He
Pollard got the non-exclusive franchise tag. If I'm correct, that's the same thing that Lamar Jackson got,
mhm,
which means
mhm,
that he could technically get somebody could offer him a contract and he could leave unless the Cowboys match it. Yeah, non-exclusive franchise
right,
tag. That's the same thing
right.
Lamar got. So
Mm,
technically, I mean, and it may or may not happen, but with that type of a franchise tag, any team can offer him a contract. The problem for the Cowboys is because you couldn't come to a deal. You put the franchise tag on him. You chose the
mhm,
non-exclusive, which means if a
right.
team, let's say, I don't know, the Patriots offered him a crap ton of money to play there, the Cowboys either have to let him go or they have to match it
Match it.
or beat it basically. And
Mhm.
that could backfire on them big time because if Pollard takes a deal, you're stuck with Ronald Jones. That's it. That's all you got because you got rid of Zeke.
Then
And
hey,
if Pollard were to leave, they are screwed.
then you gotta pick somebody in the draft.
Or they're gonna be
And
like, Zeke, we were sorry. Can you come back? That-
yeah, like
like we made a mistake. I'm sorry, Zeke. Please come back. And Zeke could be like, yo, I got all these teams shopping me now. Like,
hey man, you got this kid Texas AM. He ran a 4.32. Devon.
do So Saquon Barkley got the non-exclusive franchise tag also.
Hmm.
So like I get that tag, but I'm like some of these teams I'm like, y'all realize like other teams
Oh no. Oh no, vet. Come back. Don't leave me. What's up, guys? Hold on. He's getting back in here. Um, what is going on? Can he get back in here? I hope he can get back here. So, guys, just like in anything can happen. So, how's everybody doing out there? Yo, vet, what's going on, man? Well, he was talking about was Saquon getting the tag and somebody matching it and taking it away. Sometimes some people, I don't know. I think some people don't want to spend that much on a running back, and they like to just. I don't know. I don't think somebody might try and match it, but I don't think anybody's gonna match it. All right, I think he is trying to get in here, folks. 7:36 my time, Pacific time. Well, you know what? While he is trying to get in here and he's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What happened?" Uh, I will do a rundown on some of the top. Uh, let's see. We'll start with the running backs in the draft. I mean, in the free agency. So Miles Sanders, he has gone to Carolina with a 4-year deal. David Montgomery, he has gone to Detroit, 3-year deal. Jamal Williams is going to New Orleans. And then let's see. Oh my God, Alexander Madison, he's gonna stay in Minnesota. Jeff Wilson's gonna stay in Miami. Moster's gonna stay in Miami. Let's see. Justice Hill, he's gonna still stay in Baltimore. James Robinson, he's going to New England. Travis Homer is leaving Seattle, going to Chicago. And then we talked earlier about Devin Singletary. He's leaving Buffalo, going to Houston. And then this is going to be an interesting one because Devontae Freeman did a hell of a job when he was in Carolina, and he took over for CMC. He's going to Chicago. Boston Scott's going to still stay in Philadelphia. Matt Breida still going. You back in, bro?
Yes, I believe I am. I'm trying to get my webcam fixed.
Not a problem.
So just bear with me. I got it. I'm trying to get the other camera working.
Gotcha.
So I may have to disable my camera for a moment.
Yeah, you looking okay. Once again, guys, that's what happens. So that was with the running backs, and then we'll go wide. We'll go wide receiver. Up your back.
Yeah, I'm just going to disable the camera right now, so it'll just be you get front and center.
All right, not a front. Thanks. Like people want to see my ugly mug. All right. So wide receivers, of course, we talked earlier. Allen Lazard going to the Jets. Jacoby Myers going to the Las Vegas. That's going to be interesting. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's going to New England. Adam Thielen going to Carolina. Robert Woods going to Houston. I don't know about. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I was going to say with Carolina, man, it almost looks like they are building to just go all. They're going all in for a Super Bowl. It seems that way. You grabbed Miles Sanders, so you've got a running back. You've got Thielen, a receiver. You've got Hayden Hurst. You've got Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And Dalton, let's remember, Dalton already knows Hurst. Dalton has rapport with Hayden Hurst because they both played in Cincinnati.
Yes, he does.
So I'm wondering if that was one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But they went all out with just 4 players on offense. They spent like $70 million on play deals. And it seems like they want to just go try to pull what the Rams did in essence.
Right. And I mean, did he do some good? Yes. Did he do some bad? Yeah. Carolina, I think I can see him doing a little something.
Yeah, I mean, he's been around the league for a while. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely the veteran guy. I think he's still got enough left in the tank, though, that if Matthew Stafford can pull off winning a Super Bowl with the right team, I'm not saying that the Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think that they could turn it around even if it's just 2 years and you build that team and you're getting the extra pieces and then you get the right quarterback to take over. I think they're doing the right thing here.
Would you give Matt Ryan another chance? Because you saw what happened. It was the worst ever comeback.
Oh yeah, I still would. I think I still
would. Okay.
If it was the right team, but if a team took a chance on him, they've got to build that offense around him. They have to change the game plan. Everything has to be based around his skill set to make him succeed, which then in turn makes the team succeed. I don't know if there's a team that would, but I would. Do I see Carson Wentz getting a job? No, not in the NFL. I don't. I think
I would have gave Phillip Rivers a chance.
Yeah,
I'd give Phillip Rivers a chance.
I would also. Well, and didn't he say he would consider it if the right opportunity presented itself?
The opportunity. And here's a crazy one. I did see Cam throwing the ball. Cam did look good, but
He's just had
starting or backup, starting or backup.
de- I almost want to say backup and with the possibility of starting because you can't just he's been out we've seen what he has done. He's not
Right.
he had some issues the last time he played. I'd say put it if you were going to take a chance on Cam Newton, you put him as a backup, you give him some chances to see what he can do and make him earn it,
Mhm.
make him work for it. Don't just hand him the keys
Right.
to your team. If you want him to be your starter, put him as a backup and make him work for it because I think he would. There are some
Yeah,
quarterbacks
I
that
agree.
would if you put them as a backup, they will work to get that starting role. Carson Wentz is not one of them. I think he would throw a temper tantrum.
Bridge. I would throw Bridgewater. Proved
Yes,
himself.
yeah,
With Seattle.
he's struggled with the Dolphins, but he looked damn good at times with the Saints.
Coach, I
Yeah,
have to. Would you say that's got to do some Pete
yes,
Carroll, some coaching?
100%. Because when
Okay.
Drew Brees was out for like the first 6 weeks or whatever it was, 5 or 6
Mhm.
weeks, Bridgewater came in, and Bridgewater's numbers were identical to Drew
Right.
Brees, and
Right.
clearly Brees is on a whole nother level. I mean, Brees
Yeah.
is hands down is a much better quarterback, but their numbers were it's coaching. Why did Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins look fantastic in Washington his last 2 years when he was on the franchise tag? Coaching and the offensive
Right.
coordinators made him look that good, which is why he got the payday that he did in Minnesota. The new coach in Minnesota made him built his changed the offense and everything to focus on his skill set. That's why the Vikings did so well. I mean, that's why Cousins looked for the most part. It
Cousins.
wasn't the Vikings, clearly, because
Right.
that shit was. I've never seen so much luck in my life.
Yeah.
But Cousins, even with all of the dumb luck and some of the blowout games that they lost, Cousins looked fantastic. He was still accurate and the way he played.
I just
It's
don't understand. That team is so good. It's one of those teams. It's like I hate to say it, but
the problem
like
with
Bills.
The
Like the
Vikings were so
Bills.
good last year and fell apart, and it was mostly because they had no defense. The
Yeah.
Bills is another anomaly. I mean,
Yeah.
they were we all everybody predicted Super Bowl, hands down. They're going to be it. This is their year, and then they just collapsed. I mean, they pulled off what the Cowboys say every year. I mean, I heard that the Cowboys are already preaching that they're going to the Super Bowl this year because they
Yeah,
got rid of Zeke.
they
And
do that every
yeah,
year, man.
but I was shocked with what happened with the Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs, the Bills because I wasn't expecting that. But I what I wasn't also expecting was that the Lions and the Jets were going to have the seasons that they did.
I'm telling you, the Lions and the Jack. Don't forget the Jacksonville
And
Jaguars.
Jacksonville turned all three of
Jacksonville.
those teams turned it around.
Yes.
Jacksonville and I think Detroit out of those three teams, I think Detroit was clearly the best.
Yes. I agree.
And I
I agree.
think that this season I would put money on if you would say hey, place a bet saying Lions going to the playoffs. I'm not saying the Super Bowl, but to the playoffs, I would
Mhm.
put money on that and say yes. That I would predict at this point. I would predict that they would make it to the playoffs at least. And we just got a message from our boss Santiago who said Japan wins the World Baseball Classic.
Yay!
So
Congratulations to Japan. Hey guys, if you love baseball and you watch baseball from all the teams from around the world baseball, yeah, shout out to Japan. They love
yeah,
Japan. Love they got some good baseball
yeah, they
players.
do.
Yeah, got some good
Yeah.
baseball players.
But yeah, that's what I would say. I think teams are gonna be. I'm curious if teams will even take the Lions, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Jets seriously. Maybe not the Jets if they get Rodgers, but I don't even know. Like, what does that do if Rodgers goes if he actually goes to the Jets and he plays that MVP level that we know he can when he chooses to? Like that changes even without knowing how he's gonna play. If he signs with the Jets, I think
So
that changes the entire AFC East.
somebody said, "Oh no, vet." Oh no, or is it "Oh no, oh no, oh no"?
I'm guessing Howdy. I'm guessing it's tied to the baseball. But I'm just curious, like, because you have to agree that one would have to agree that if Rodgers does sign with the Jets, that changes the AFC East.
First of all, just because he signs with the Jet, I mean, he still got to build chemistry. He still got to gel
Right.
with players, and can he do that? Can he lead the vets? They got a hell. We know they got a hell of a coach. I love the coach. Oh yeah, that's because he came from the Niners, but love the coach.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of that, you know who's gonna be the coach for the Texans?
Was it? I feel like it was another product of San Francisco
That's
49ers.
right,
Matt.
Ryan's Demarco or
I
whatever.
feel at this point, I feel like all you guys do is just produce NFL coaches now. At this point.
I'm like, can we keep our coaches together? You know, stop letting them go. But I
Look, it's
mean,
great that they want to be an NFL head coach, but sorry, you're not allowed now. We're putting that in your contract. No
yeah, I
more.
mean, we're trying to build dynasties, man. We need
You can't
everybody.
dipping out.
Yeah, because now I don't know how our defense is gonna be.
Well,
Because
I will say, even when you guys lost Sailor when he left to the
right,
Jet, you guys still turned it around. I mean, you guys still had a vicious defense. So it seems even when it's like next man up mentality for coaching staff, you guys are just on par with it.
well, we'll see. I'm very terrified what's gonna happen with the quarterback situation because we got a
That yeah, that one I I'm interested with that one. That's I as much as I know everyone's like, well, it's the focuses on Aaron Rodgers. I'm more interested in what's going to happen in San Francisco because you got rid of Jimmy, so that's part is pieces out of the equation now.
right.
But now it's back to what do you do? You're right. You're literally back in the same spot, except the fact that it would have gone to Trey, but then you've got this Purdy problem. So
It ain't a problem, man.
no,
It's
no, 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 no.
Bro,
I'm not.
he proved himself. He's a leader.
I think
The
if he hadn't have been injured, you guys would have made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh man, I'm so mad. I don't even want to. I'm so mad. I'm like, what?
But
Uh,
I feel like that performance deserves a starting spot because we saw that with Heineke. Heineke, look what he did when he got brought up by Washington. He almost took out Brady and the Bucks on Brady's Super Bowl run down there. And what
mhm.
happened? They gave him a chance to be the starter the next season. I feel Brock needs that, but I think the difference between Heineke and Brock is Brock will succeed where Heineke did not gain that starting shit thing. And I think Brock could be the face. There's your franchise quarterback. You keep him healthy, you get him the weapons, continue to get
Yeah,
the
but
weapons.
there's another guy called Trey. What do you do with Trey?
That's the problem. And like this,
And
the
and and
Niners
I
are in a rock and a hard place because Trey's been there 3 years. This is his third year, right?
yeah, but he hasn't. I mean,
He
I
hasn't done anything. I mean,
you,
he's shown
it's always
stuff, but he's
next.
gotten injured.
It's next man up, and it's who's the hot hand. You always go with the hot hand, and Brock proved because he's won more games, played more games, and we love him out here. I mean, we love Brock out here.
Right.
And no disrespect for Trey, but Trey, we haven't seen much. But I'm also trying to give him a chance, have him compete. But guess what? We also got Sam.
Yeah, that's the other
We
thing is
got
you brought in
Sam.
Sam Darn. I don't understand that one because to me, what like are you having a quarterback competition for three quarterbacks? Is this Brock's team and you're competing for the backup position?
Because one's go some because
I think I don't see the Niners
somebody's
keeping
leaving. Somebody's leaving.
because you've
And
got you got a total of three quarterbacks, right?
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, I don't see him keeping three. I think two would be what you would probably
I don't
maintain.
know,
What I could
man.
see maintaining.
I would do 3. The luck
Well,
we had, good
yeah, I know.
lord.
Jesus, 2 years in a row, you guys have
I
had it. Yeah, man. But I don't know. I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do. Like, do you think that they're going to let them, like Darnold and Trey, compete, and then whichever one wins, the other one gets dumped?
yeah.
Or trade? I mean, I guess I don't know if they would. They just signed Darnold, so I'm wondering if they're going to trade Trey. Then, if they're going to try to trade him.
Well, here. Let me throw something at you too. You got 2 young guys. You always need you always good to have a vet. Uh, a vet. Always good to have a vet to help these guys out. You know, that's
Yeah,
what Jimmy. You know,
And Jimmy did a fantastic job.
yeah, and Sam, yeah, is Sam like, oh my god, he's not, a super duper elite, but he's been
But he's
around.
all
He's been
right.
around.
But and he's also not like the Zach Wilson that says, "I'm gonna make if a veteran quarterback comes here, I'm gonna make their life a living hell." And
Yeah,
one, I would love to see him try to do that to Aaron Rodgers. I'm hoping to God that Rodgers gets signed because I want to see if Wilson's going to fulfill that message that he made.
Zach, he had to eat some humble pie, man. You ain't proved nothing. You haven't proved anything,
I mean,
and
Brock Purdy did a better job of proved more than Zach Wilson did. Let's be real
yeah,
here.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Brock was the unknown. I mean, I mean, you don't get more unknown than being the last pick in the draft.
No, nope. And just even in the interviews, he's humble, well spoken. He's like, I'm just here to do my job, man. I'm gonna come here with my
And
lunchbox and
the
do my job.
I mean, you watch him play. Look back at the season. You just watch him play in those games, and you forget that he's a rookie. You
Yeah.
forget that he was. You forget that he hasn't been in the league for a long time, and he's a veteran quarterback because he's got the mentality of a veteran quarterback.
I'm gonna
That
tell
was the
you,
first thing I noticed about that
if you
kid.
if you notice how you got Mahomes and you got Kelsey, their relationship, and I mean, that's
That
what you need. You got an elite tight end in Kittles, and him, Brock and Kittles. I mean, they're like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, and there aren't that you don't have that very in the league very often.
No,
I mean, you've got Minnesota. You had that with Cousins and
right,
Hawkinson. They
right.
gelled like almost immediately. You
Yeah.
got that with Kittle with and Brock. No questioning Kelsey and Mahomes. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, even the commercials are basically them two goofing around. And
Yeah.
you had that with Gronk and Brady.
Yeah.
Even those two.
You
I mean,
need
that was the
that's
dynamic duo.
your security blanket, man. When you getting ready to get your head busted in, you can toss it over to your tight end, or you got the tight end can go long, boom, and that's what they had the Kittles. I was like, yes, because that's what I wanted Jimmy to do. I wanted Jimmy to
Jimmy
get
just
Kittles,
he
and then
didn't have,
Debo.
but he didn't. Yeah, you guys and Debo's that unknown fact, the X factor, in my
Right.
opinion, because he's that triple threat he's the runner. He could
Yeah.
probably throw if he was asked to,
Yeah.
and obviously he can catch. But Jimmy just never seemed to have that connection with the tight end connection that Brock had.
No.
And like I said, even today, like this season, you don't have very many teams that have the quarterback tight end connection. That's
There
a
is
connection you
only
always
a few.
right. And
Only
the
a
tight end
few.
quarterback connection, it's not so much with a receiver.
Right.
You can get that with any. I mean, you can build a relationship with a receiver, but these kind of duos with the tight end, it's very rare to see that. Like I said, you got the Chiefs, you got the Niners, and that's really it at this point because Brady and Gronk are gone,
That's
and I
why
don't know many other teams that
Well,
have that
that's why
kind of rapport.
Schultz got scooped up.
Yep.
What's that guy?
Well, and
Doder?
Vikings technically have that with Cousins and Hawkinson, so
Yes.
that's another match there. So
Yeah.
you've got right now at least three out of 32 NFL teams. You got three that have that kind of a connection, which is crazy.
Yeah. And then shout out, hey, Philly, Jalen Hurts to what's the guy? Dodert?
Yeah,
Dodert?
yeah, they were
That's a
starting there,
good, that's a good, that's a
and
good.
as much as I wanted a different team for the NFC, I was really I would love to have seen Philly get the win, even if it's in my division. And I know there are people out there that say you never root for the NFC team that's in your division. We have a friend of ours that's a Cowboys fan that said it
Mhm.
doesn't matter what, no part of him would have, even if he hated the Chiefs to a T
Right.
and they were his ultimate rival, he would still
Mhm.
root for them because the Eagles were in his division and his team will never make it to the Super Bowl because of the Eagles and their owner, but I don't. I mean, I don't pick or I don't care at the. I enjoyed the game.
Dude,
It was a great game.
Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey got it on lock. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know how. I mean,
Uh, Rams, I'm sorry. The
the
Cardinals, I'm sorry.
Bills. I'm sorry. The original.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Ron.
Run.
That is Ron. Yes, they did. That is very
Well, hey,
true.
that was a McMahon thing.
Yes, it
So
was.
but shh, he paid hush. He paid that off. So we're not supposed to talk about it. Part of that. It's part of that settlement deal.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, we're all out of time. We will.
Yeah.
Let's see what is next. We should be able to do one next week. I'm going to be out of town the first week of April, so I won't be. We'll probably be off that unless Santiago wants to fill in for me. And if you're up for it, if you want, we can get somebody to fill in, or if you have a guest you want to bring on, go for it. Otherwise, we'll take a break, but we'll be back here same time, same place next week. Talking. We'll probably talk. Maybe we'll do some. We'll talk some XFL. We did. We had the request from a friend of
Yeah.
ours, so we'll
Yeah.
talk. We can talk
Definitely.
XFL and USFL next week instead. Because the
Football.
NFL is. I mean, we're off season mode. We're in the off season, so it is. It's just going to be basically us rambling on about free agency.
And we have been looking. I have been looking at the combine and
Yeah, I mean, and there's only so much that's going to change. I mean, unless Brady comes out of retirement, the news is kind of it's slim pickings half the time. Maybe we'll do that. But I think what we'll do focus on next week will be XFL, USFL because it'll be kind of fun to shake it up. Maybe
yeah,
we'll throw in some arena football memories since we know that arena football is coming back as well.
exactly.
But we're out of here,
Exactly.
guys. We will see y'all next week. Have fun,
Have
stay
fun,
safe,
y'all.
and get ready for the
Peace.
NFL and Washington to win the Super Bowl. Woo!
Yeah, that ain't happening.